What's up, guys? It's Uncle Freedom coming to you on another glorious and well-deserved day off, so cheers to that. Well, we've looked at a bunch of stuff on this channel. The good-to-go and no-go ammunition for defensive carry's gotten hot. There's also a rifle version of that should be released up here soon. And we are growing. So if all that stuff sounds like fun, you go ahead and like, subscribe, and tell a friend because, like I said, the family is growing, and I truly appreciate everything that you have done out there to increased my popularity, which is just fantastic. It's really cool to see other people interacting with this. That said, I get a ton of comments now. I do what I can to actually respond to every comment I get, except for the haters, the naysayers, and the people that just you don't want to interact with. And honestly, one of the reasons for that is I learned a very long time ago that you do not argue with stupid or ignorant people because they will drag you down to their level and whoop your ass with the experience they have at being stupid or ignorant. So I find myself not doing it. I just crest above the waves on that one. That said, I did remember the other day that I've never mentioned this. I actually started a Instagram page in conjunction with the YouTube channel, and the primary part behind that was so people could actually reach out and contact me if they needed to. That is at Uncle Freedom 213, again at Uncle Freedom 213 on Instagram. So today we're going to look at EDC Essentials, not necessarily the specific item, but an essential. There are, in my mind, a few things that you should be carrying as part of your EDC. Maybe you're new to the EDC game and you just want to, build your first loadout. So there are certain things that we look at in everyday carry that you are going to use a lot. A lot of guys are like, you need a gun. I do agree. You do need a gun. I think every American should carry a gun. However, that said, you're not going to use your gun nearly as often as you're going to use something like a flashlight. Having a gun is a great, amazing thing that you as a red-blooded American should be doing. I'm sorry, you should be carrying a gun. If you're legally allowed to have one, you should be carrying it every day with you. That's why stuff like constitutional carry is so important, because it's giving us back rights instead of stripping them away, which the federal government seems to be intent on doing. So now, looking at real life, what do you actually need everyday carry stuff? Well, first off, I'm going to be the first to tell you is I've never seen keys fall out of your pocket or you drop them and then land in a well-lit, perfectly displayed area. They usually fall somewhere and then immediately start traveling to the place that detents go when you're trying to build an AR, which is in orbit somewhere in an alternate universe, a reality. If you're a guitar player, you all know the curse of dropping a pick and that sumbitch is just gone. I've done that way too many times too. A flashlight's important. Now, there are two kind of skills of thought when it comes to a flashlight. There are things like the task light. So this is a Streamlight Micro Stream. If you're wondering about durability, this guy is 10 years old. It wears its wear on its sleeve. It still functions perfectly. This runs on a single AAA. This will solve most of what you need for a task-oriented light just to find things. However, for me, I like to have a flashlight that has some sort of a defensive capability to it. Not necessarily that I can go up and, beat somebody with the flashlight. If you want to do that, buy one of those old school mag lights. Those were cool. I like having a light that's very bright, tail cap activated, that I could use in conjunction with a firearm if I needed to, or I could use it to de-escalate a situation simply by letting the person that was scoping you out in a parking lot as a potential victim, letting them know, hey dude, I'm aware you're there. And if I'm aware you're there and I'm willing to shine a light at you, odds are this isn't going to go well, right? So I like having a flashlight that's got some capacity behind it. I brought 3 down here with me. So one of them is my Phoenix PD35 TAC. This guy's got a bunch of different settings. You activate the settings here, but it is a tail cap activated light, 1,000 lumens, single 18650 battery, and fantastic. My current everyday carry light all the time with me now is the EDC L1T. This is a single CR123 flashlight from Surefire. Yes, it is expensive. It's worth every penny. But I have a gas pedal switch on that, so I have 5 lumens and 500 lumens. That is enough to get your attention or temporarily blind you if you were thinking about doing something dumb. This activates and disrupts something known as the OODA loop. Observe, orient, decide, and act. If they are observing you and oriented towards you, and they are now in the process of making a decision on whether or not to wreck your shit and try to jack your $5 you have left from going to Chick-fil-A, this can jack that up. Because if you're sitting there, they're staring at you, and you hit them in the face with this, well, they're no longer observing your shit anymore. They also don't know where you're at, because you should be moving, which would force them to reorient, which starts that clock over for the OODA loop itself. So something pretty important to do. And then lastly, we'll touch on a flashlight that I've gotten a lot of questions about. Everybody wants to know how to get this. So I figured we'd go over it. This flashlight itself, this is a Surefire G2. This is an inexpensive USA-made light that runs on two single two CR123 batteries. This version of that light is the law enforcement edition. You can buy the law enforcement edition. You could also buy the 6PX. You could buy the G2 Pro, the G2 Tactical, or the standard G2X. The important part is you have this body of flashlight. This is just one of the many bodies that this company makes this clip for. This clip is the Therm switchback. You see the logo right there? Therm, T-H-Y-R-M. It's called the switchback. It is a separate piece that screws underneath the tail cap on your flashlight, gives you a very robust pocket clip and this cool karambit ring on here so that I could do this. Hey, what you doing? And then again, if I needed to activate this in regards to the pistol, I can do it just like that using my handgun if I don't have the capability to have a weapon mounted light. Excellent option. Again, that is Therm, T-H-Y-R-M, and this is called the switchback. They make them for a bunch of different lights, so make sure you get the one that fits yours. After your flashlight, your next most used option is going to be an ink pen. Let's face it, we could all use the ink pen on the counter and get whatever weird disease that got left behind by the nasty person in front of you that was trying to chicken scratch their name on a piece of paper. Happens. Carry a good ink pen, buy a good ink pen. I don't mean you don't have to spend a fortune on an ink pen, right? Like here's something, like here's a G2. G2s are great pens. However, they don't write on everything. But I will say if you live in an environment that's very cold, this ink doesn't freeze up if you're outside a lot. So this is a good option for that. Me personally, I like really nice ink pens. I always have. Whether that is the Karas Custom EDK, this guy runs on a Fisher Space Pen refill, to the tactile turn slider. This guy's in titanium. You'll see this cool little bolt action deal here. Really cool. This runs on Jetstream or G2 refills. To the OG, the guy that made bolt action pens cool. This is the Brian Fellholter, the Fellholter tie bolt. So this is a titanium pen with an actual legit bolt action. Really cool. Love this pen. And then if I'm feeling classy, I might run something like my TWSBI Eco. This is a demonstrator fountain pen. I like writing with fountain pens because there's something classy about it. I like it. And I've carried this one a lot. Now to go along with your ink pen, you need something to write on. I know you've got a great memory. You don't want to admit the fact that you are in fact getting older, and well, let's face it, one of the reasons you're sleeping on the couch is because you went to the grocery store for eggs and milk and you came home with a new handgun. And it's because you didn't write it down before you left. That's always my excuse too. I just didn't write it down, baby. Whoops. My bad. I'll go back and get eggs and milk with my new gun. So, carrying a notebook, super important. Lots of things out there can fit the bill on that, whether that is standard Write in the Rain memo pads, to little Write in the Rain bound books, to, fancy leather notebooks and stuff that actually have things like field notes in it. I love field notes notebooks. I am a huge fan of those. I love carrying them. The monthly subscription editions are fantastic. This cool leather case, you can get these from a lot of places. This one's actually made by me because this is actually how I became Uncle Freedom, was Uncle Freedom leather. Love that. And if I want to carry something bigger and larger, I carry this. This is a Lockbee field journal. This is oil skin on the outside, locks up. I can carry a full moleskin notebook as well as a couple others. Got kind of a traveler rubber band on the inside. I adore this thing. It's been great. So after your flashlight, your pen, and your notebook, the next most used thing you're going to see is a knife. You can spend a lot of money here. You can go buy a Sabenza for like $600 as your first knife. You can. Or you could buy something as simple as, like a Kershaw Emerson. This is like the CQC9. Got the wave feature on there. D2 steel on this guy. This is about $50 or $60. Personally, for me, I always carry two knives. I carry one knife in my right pocket that is a one-handed folder. That is a more robust knife. Whether that is my old school 550 HG Benchmade Griptilian. Love this knife. Just adore it. Or my ZT0909, this is a Les George design, an S35VN. To things like Lion Steel, the Lion Steel Kerr. I picked this up at Blade Show in 2018. Great knife, flipper, super smooth. Maybe you're an auto guy. right? This one is a Gerber, if you didn't know by the monstrosity that is branding all over this fucking thing. They want you to know it's a Gerber, by God. This is the 06 Auto, a USA made and S30V steel. Great little knife. These are getting more expensive though, a couple $100. You know, as of recently, my favorite has been my Spyderco Paramilitary T2 and CPM Crewwear steel with the micarta scales. It is absolutely a thing of beauty. Then for my second knife, I always carry a smaller traditional folding knife. I recommend this to anybody that's getting into the EDC world. Have your predominant knife that you're going to carry in your main pocket on your strong side, and then have something small that you can use in an environment like when you get the ketchup packet that you just can't get freaking open, and you've been at it for like 4 minutes and your food's getting cold, and for whatever reason, this one ketchup packet, because they only gave you 2, and you need that one, that son of a bitch just won't fucking open, and you're going to lose your shit. You're starting to bite on it, and yeah, we've all been there. Pull out your knife calmly, open the ketchup packet, and season your food, okay? For me, a lot of times I use something like this, because if I've got this little ketchup packet and I'm like, damn it, open! All right, ladies freak out about that. I don't understand it. Knives are knives, they're tools. You shouldn't be scared of an inanimate object. Much like people are terrified of guns, you shouldn't be scared of guns. It's inanimate. If people are bad, they're just going to be bad with a ball-peen hammer if you take guns away. So, gun control doesn't work. Newsflash. Anyway, probably lost some friends on that one. Doesn't matter. Something small like this. This is the Victorinox Huntsman. Love this knife right here. I've had this knife for a lot of years. I've replaced the scales to the Plus version because I have an ink pen now on my Swiss Army knife. Why do I need an ink pen on my Swiss Army knife? I don't know, but I felt like I needed a freaking ink pen on my Swiss Army knife. Don't judge me, okay? You can even do something in between. Pocket clip, sculpted G10 scales, slip joint like this Manly Comrade, made in Bulgaria, D2 steel. This is a cool knife. Don't know if they're still made, but it's freaking awesome. Or maybe you just want to go classy. I can live with classy. Classy like a Case Barlow. That's what's up. After that, your wallet. Man, we got a bunch of options for wallet. Personally, for me, I am a leather wallet guy. I do like recycled firefighter, but now in my current job, I have a lot of RFID cards that I have to use to get in and out of buildings. So I needed a little more space. This is the wallet I carry. This is in burgundy Horween leather right here. This guy is actually made by me. I got a pocket on the top, pocket on the bottom, pocket on the back, 4 keys. That is a poker chip from the first time I ever went gambling, and I didn't lose any money. So, yeah, I made $5, and there's my $5 chip. But get a decent wallet, something that'll age with you. You can see how this guy's patinaed over time. I absolutely adore it. Again, that was made by me. I don't usually buy stuff because I make my own stuff. And then last for me is you need to be carrying some form of medical. And this becomes much more important if you're carrying a gun. And again, on my previous statement, if you're a red-blooded American that can legally own a firearm, for the love of God, carry a gun. Holy shit. Carry a gun. Get some training. Don't buy 6 guns and then not train. Please don't do that. This is a pet peeve of mine. Like, the fucking knife hand has come out. Jesus Christ, look what it did to me. Buy a gun if you can legally own a gun. They're inanimate metal objects that function by interaction with a human being. They don't go off on their own, regardless of what the people that hate SIG want you to believe. Buy a gun, train with your gun, become proficient, and be the American that we need Americans to be, okay? Carry a gun, defend yourself, defend others. You were put on this earth to be a protector of something, whether you know it or not. So please, if you can legally own one, please own a gun, and you should be carrying it. Constitutional carry is taken across the state. For those of you that I've talked to that live in very unfree states like California and New York, my heart goes out to you. And I understand. I'm not going to be the guy that says, just leave, just move, because I understand that financially that may not be an option. Maybe you're in a job that pays you exceptionally well, and there's nowhere else you're going to move that's going to be able to do that to provide for your family. Ultimately, you have to provide for your family first, because again, that's part of protecting them. That's part of that job. Oh, I would say if it's a possibility, get the hell out of there, because that is awful. I can't imagine what you're going through. Couldn't do it, man. I live in a free state. I live in a free state where we shoot Ma-Deuce belt-fed machine guns for fun on the weekends because, well, that's a thing here. So, definitely. Okay, so I've rant over, right? Back, you need medical, okay? Medical is something you will need more likely than not in your lifetime. You may never need a firearm. But we carry firearms because the chance exists that we might need it. Medical is one of those things you should be carrying because the odds of you needing it are way higher than you think. Like just crazy shit can happen. Industrial accidents, car wrecks, you name it. Medical is super important. Carry medical at a minimum in your bag. If you can carry some on you using something like the Live the Creed Pocket Trauma Kit, that is an excellent option. If I have on pants, I have on this guy. This is the Dark Angel Medical Pocket, Ankle Trauma Kit. I've got a soft T tourniquet, hyphen vent chest seals, compression bandage, hemostatic gauze, gloves. Carry a med kit, guys. The life you save could be your own or somebody you love. Please carry medical and get some training on it. At the very minimum, a good Stop the Bleed course to learn how to use this stuff. Prep Medic does an excellent series on the Stop the Bleed. I've done a whole full series rundown on the March algorithm and medical kit. Please, for the love of God, carry medical. And which brings me back to a given that you should be carrying, which is your phone. Because phones are important. Phones are actually one of the best defensive items you have, because if you can call somebody first or get it on film, well, that helps you. But in reality, a gun, guys. If you can legally own one and you can carry it, please carry a gun. I'm a law enforcement officer that pulls people over regularly, telling you to please carry a gun. 98% of the people I stop are armed, and that doesn't affect me at all. Like, I have a gun. Great, so do I. Please don't touch yours, and I won't touch mine. Right? I'm excited. I'm like, thanks for carrying. I even tell them thank you. And when I pull people over and they're like, well, I have a concealed carry permit. But I was like, oh, cool. What kind of gun you carrying? I'm not carrying a gun. Why? Carry a gun. You can spend a lot of money here or a little money here. The biggest thing is whatever you get, make sure you train with it, make sure it's reliable, and it eats the defensive ammunition you put on it. Check my previous videos on don't do it and do it's for concealed carry ammo. That'll help you out, at least give you a baseline of something to look at. Something like the SIG. This is a SIG 320 Wilson Combat deal here. Great gun. Like it. It's never gone off without me touching the trigger. The sights have never yeeted off of it. The frame isn't broken. It's reliable, Or I could do my CZs or something like that. If you can own a gun legally, please carry a gun. I'm imploring you, man. The world is too uncertain and people are dangerous. Carry a gun. And make sure you understand the laws in your state around carrying a gun. Like, are you a duty to retreat outside of the home? Are you a castle? Are you stand your ground law? Know those things, please. And in addition to that, have a good attorney or have USCCA or something that can help you get bailed out of jail if you do have to use your firearm, because I hate to break it to you, if you use your firearm in a defensive matter, unless it is the most clear-cut case in history on video, you are probably going to go to jail, at least for the night until they sort that out. Please, for your family's sake, at the minimum. After that, big ones for me, baseball cap, sunglasses. The sun's out half of your life, guys. The sun is bright. Sun will damage your eyes. I don't care how cool you think you are, how tough you are. It's like being cold outside. That's great. I'm excited for you. You're super tough, but I got news for you. You're going to be hypothermic in like 10 minutes, so please put on a fucking coat. Same deal with these. Put on some glasses. Personally, for me, I spend money on glasses because I like having nicer sunglasses. If you can't tell by the stuff I own, I like nicer stuff. I am willing to save my money and put my money where my mouth is to use good quality items. Glasses are no exception. These are my Oakley slivers. I have 3 pairs of these. I've got valves. I've got chain links. I've got gas cans. Here's another pair over here. I have Maui Jims. I have Ray-Bans. There are a bunch of good brands out there. Magpols, Leopolds. Just get good glasses. And a hat, man. If you come on the range to shoot with me, you got to have a hat on. Otherwise, I'm going to send you packing because brass does weird shit. This is one of my LaRue tactical hats. This is a fitted guy. If you've never checked out LaRue's hats, he's got one feature above all that makes him badass, and that is those little loops on the side that catch my glasses. Because if you've ever bent over with your $200 sunglasses on and watched them drop perilously fast at the fucking concrete as you just shit your pants in trained color because you've had them for approximately 20 minutes, you know why. That is now important. So guys, I am Uncle Freedom. Again, go ahead and like, subscribe, tell a friend, and share because we are growing and it is awesome. And for that, I thank you. If you've got questions, comments, or concerns, please drop them in the comment section below. I will do what I can to get back to you. If it's something pressing and you really need advice on this, head over to the Instagram page at UncleFreedom213. Send me a message and I will get back to you and at least try to get you on the right track to the information you need, because I started this little journey with the anticipation of sharing knowledge with other people, because knowledge is useless if you don't pass it on. So guys, again, I'm Uncle Freedom. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. I'll see you later.